Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and welcome to another Trespasser Customs video. Today we're going to be looking at the second map released by newest map maker Morningstarring. As you can see from the title of this video, this level doesn't really have a proper name, it's just called Newlev8. And in the thread for it, Morningstarring did say that because they designed their maps generally around new triggers that they've discovered, for puzzles and whatnot, they don't really have an idea of names for these maps, so I'll see if I can come up with a name for it as we go through. And we should be able to just hit new game after I set this up. I'm getting better at configuring folders in CE for this stuff. Alright, so this game does use this map does use a lot of default assets, just like the previous one, but it sounds like there are some interesting puzzle ideas in here as well. Alright. So we got
8 shots.
Shotgun, Desert Eagle.
8 shots.
Store both of those, and just start walking. I thought the last map was pretty good, especially for a first released map, Redwood Road, so I'm curious to see what they do with this one, since it sounds like they are pretty ambitious with their ideas, but not in a dramatic, recreate an entire island kind of way. There's a structure up there. There's a path going this way. One thing I'm glad about is that the videos I record of this don't seem to capture the screen tearing, but Trespasser does seem to have some pretty rough screen tearing, even with VSync on. Or VSync forced on via NVIDIA control panel. So I'm thinking we need to get up there. But we might as well follow this path and see where it goes. This is actually a pretty dense jungle in terms of the amount of trees around. But you notice there's not a lot of ground foliage, which is the one that causes a lot more trouble. Okay, we can just keep going this way, but I guess maybe we should detour up here? I don't know if we can actually get up there from here. It kind of looks like we might have to go all the way around and then circle back. So that might actually be the end of the level, which would be an interesting kind of tease. Like, hey, here it is. You just gotta make your way here. But yeah, it looks like there's no way up that slope. Trying to resist the temptation to jump. So we're in kind of like a narrow valley. Well, I say narrow, but this is actually pretty wide. This is equivalent to some of the parts of the retail Trespasser maps. Is that... Oh.
8 left.
I think that's a dilophosaur? Now I'm curious, because we didn't hear them coming, these two might have actually been spawned in when we hit that point. Are these spitting ones, or are these just more historically accurate dilophosaurs? They do seem to be just reskinned raptors.
5.
One shot. Well, you kind of froze up there, bud. Alright, we didn't take too much damage there. So there's a clearing in that direction through the hills, but I feel like there's got to be something tucked away over here, right? I hear nostrils. Who's snuffling over here? I see a tail. Who is that hidden in the bushes? Oh, it's just a regular parasaur. Something else over there, too. Alright, well. This dilophosaur is not dead, but it is pinned underneath the corpse. He seems pretty happy about it. And there's an Albertosaur over here. well as M16.
About 30 rounds.
The mag looks a little like it's from something else. I'm pretty sure that's just a generic snag mag. How much did she say we had? 30?
8 shots. About 30.
Yeah. Alright. We're not gonna waste them on him. Also, I think this is one of the older custom models because it is a little blocky. We haven't done it yet, but if I ever just do a video on the Armory map, which is where I think a lot of the modders pull their weapons from, it's literally just a map of, like, 40 or 50 modded Trespasser guns lying around. And, you know, you just copy them from there and paste them into your map. But at the same time, the reason I haven't done that is because I feel like that would kind of spoil these weapons. It's always fun to me when we pick up a new gun in Trespasser that I haven't seen in another map yet, even if some of them are actually not new and they've been in maps I just haven't played yet. Because there are still a chunk of older maps I haven't played. A lot of them are unfinished, which is why I'm always like, I don't know if I want to start a map that's unfinished, and I don't know how much of it is actually going to be playable. But I think a lot of these do first show up in maps like that. Alright, so this is probably our way forward, which means we need a pink keycard. You might think that Trespasser was revolutionary for having physics and all this other stuff, own kinematics, but really, the most revolutionary FPS feature of this game was having more than 3 colors of keycard, something Doom had not been able to do. I think even Quake still uses a 3-key system. You know, I've never actually played Quake. That may seem a little surprising because I cover a lot of old FPS games, but yeah. I played Quake 2 as a kid, which for some reason I remembered as Quake 3, but I played through all of that and never played the original, so probably going to do a first impressions on that soon. If that hasn't come out before this, because I never know when these videos are going to release. I have like a month's worth of videos already recorded. Okay. Just a big gulch down there. I don't know if there's a reason for us to go there, but it seems like the whole area over there is divided up like that. Which, you know, this is a nice way to make a barrier for the map. Unless I am supposed to wind my way down there, but kind of hope that's not the case. As, at that point, we're just walking through corridors. But I think this map has an airfield in it, which, if I'm remembering correctly, the only Trespasser map, aside from this, to have an airfield was the first level of JPDS streams, where you do run into like a jungle airstrip. Man, it's been so long since I started JPDS, and I still haven't finished it. But it's a lot to get through. Alright, so we got a little compound here. Okay. It's always my first test is, I see a crate, can I just shoot it to get it off of where it is? I bet this works.
8 left.
Huck that in there. That's a crusty ground texture in there.
8 shots.
But I wanted to grab this because we can fit it on our belt. Kind of looks like... Yeah, I don't know, this might actually be broken, but it looks like we're supposed to drop this crate onto that board, which will create a path for us to go up. But this thing seems kind of jammed in position. It's just vibrating. I'm holding, but I can't push it up or down. There we go. I just had to shove it more aggressively forward. Because I was thinking we could probably get over by just jumping on the Jeep. That seems like it's there as a backup in case this breaks. And then we seesaw it back down the other way, so we can get back out. Yeah, I don't know what happened to this ground texture, but it's like super low res now. Thought maybe I could interact with that since it was actually modeled. Ooh, the collision box around this is really big. Where did you come from? Is that a Tribe C? I don't even remember what Tribe Cs look like anymore. I just remember they were yellow and tiger stripe. That kind of looks like it's based off of one of the old action figures.
8 shots.
But yeah, it's been so long since I played Vanilla Trespasser, and the fact that nobody ever uses Tribe Cs because of their ridiculous damage in maps, that I forget what they actually look like. I don't think they had the orange, though. I think they were just yellow and black.
7.
I think that might have signified they're calling for help, which is kind of funny because he was actually calling for help as he died. So there's probably more raptors out there now. Alright, there's the keycard. There's another M16. I feel like we're a little over-equipped at the moment.
5 rounds left.
But I guess we'll
About
use
30.
up the ammo we have. They might actually be on the other side of the fence. Hello? Yep, they're over there. Whatever, let's just huck the gun over. I definitely have too many weapons, though, because I'm not going to be able to bring all this with me.
8 shots.
I suppose if I had shot the Albertosaur, that would have used up a good chunk of my ammo, but there wasn't really a reason to. He was just hanging out.
About 30. Five shots.
Did you wedge yourself through the fence? Get back out there. Trying to...
Ow.
Try to slap him back through the fence. It would have been kind of neat, actually, speaking of triggers, if there had been a trigger so that... So you can see these fence sections are separate. If there had been a trigger so that one of these tipped over, and that's how the raptors got in. Now, we don't need to kill these raptors, especially not this one, because, he's having a bad day.
4, 1.
But we got a lot of bullets, and we don't got anywhere else to put them. Oh, okay. We couldn't have used this to jump over because this one doesn't have a collision box.
About 30 rounds.
Hey, fellas. What you doing back here? Other thing is, this gun does not have an
Looks like
iron
20.
sight at all. There's one on the front, but there's no rear sight to line it up with.
20.
Which is actually something that a lot of games fuck up with their gun models. They'll have a front sight, but they'll have no rear sight, or vice versa. Alright, well, we killed everything, and we still have too many guns, so...
About 30.
Guess we'll put that on our back. Take the
8
shotgun.
shots.
So yeah, nothing too complex here, but it's been a decent level already. I do just like Trespasser's combat. Like, I know some of the mod makers want to get away from having combat-heavy levels, but there isn't really another game that has combat like this where once you get the hang of it, it feels satisfying to be able to pull off a close-range raptor shotgun blast without dropping your shotgun. And as people have said, like, a bajillion times every time they stumble across my Trespasser series, yes, this probably would be good in VR, and there is a prototype or demo where someone did make it VR compatible. guys definitely aren't Tribe C's in terms of stats, because they could take some punishment and kill you in 2 hits. I started hupping again. I gotta remember not to hup so much. It's not even that I'm, like, in a hurry to get through these levels, but when a lot of it is traversal, it's like you want to get to the good meaty bits and not the I'm walking back down the path I already came up. It's like DayZ. Most of that game is extremely boring tedium, but occasionally there would be bursts of really cool stuff that happens at the end of that tedium. But that doesn't mean you're like, oh, if you cut out the tedium, you're cutting out the gameplay. I am going to miss things in Trespasser maps, that's a given. I wonder if that's more of a problem for people because there's so few people that cover Trespasser. I mean, sure, there's a certain very popular dinosaur YouTuber that
About
has
30 rounds.
dabbled in Trespasser recently and
6
gotten plenty
rounds.
of views for it, but
About 30 rounds.
even he doesn't really cover a lot of them. I need my card.
6 left.
There we go.
6 left.
So the fact that if I'm one of the only people covering a given map, if I skip stuff, it's a little worse than if a dozen other people are going to do that map anyway, so you'll end up seeing it. So I know this was supposed to, like, demonstrate that there was a fight going on ahead, but it's a little loud. I don't recognize that particular Rex skin, but there is, like, I might need to kill him just so he stops destroying my audio. Shush.
5, 3, 2. About 30.
But I was gonna say, there's 5 or 6 different... Damn it, I didn't have enough bullets. Interesting idea, but those sound clips are definitely too frequent and too loud. I was gonna say there are 5 or 6 distinct different raptor T-Rexes in Trespasser because they're all supposed to be the 7 kings of the island. Also, there's a distinct click at the end of that audio clip. Yeah, what are you gonna do now? Destroy my ears. I think these floors are clipping through each other. Alright. Yellow keycard, we probably need that for that gate down there. And that's it. No guns. Yeah, I will say one thing that's not great in this map is the textures, but that's because I'm pretty sure they are mostly vanilla textures, and thus they're not going to look as good as a lot of the custom texture work. Man, you really boogied if you're all the way over there. Yeah, somehow he found his way all the way over there. Please stop, T-Rex. Oh, shit. Turns out I'm not the only one who can Skyrim up a cliff. I really want to see him fall off the cliff, though. It's not going to hurt him, but it'll be funny. Over here, buddy. Tasty and meat down here. I think he's lost sight of me. Hello? Majestic. It was just a little hop of his own. Alright. He might be content to eat the Triceratops. Unless his anger stat is higher than his hunger stat. Which I didn't realize those were actually separate. Okay, so we got like a structure mauled into the wall here. So I'm gonna guess then that gate over there needs a keycard that we don't have yet, if this is the yellow. You know, from the sound, I kind of expected this to slide open. Or we just walk through it. Need a white keycard there. So this is another thing you don't really see a lot in Trespasser maps is underground tunnels.
About 30 rounds.
Though that one Drac map did have an entire cave system, which was neat. Yeah, there's been a few caves, but not as many underground tunnels like this. I can only think of one map that had them, and I cannot remember what the map was actually called. It might have been one of the Truscom ops ones, where you had to go underground to get into a facility. Okay. Super stretched textures. I don't think we're getting out there. There's just a little weird little underground clearing. There's all these boxes here. Okay. I was gonna say, there has to be something over here. It's a raptor pit. They actually set a trap. But that means they're trapped down here with me. And my 30 rounds. This guy's like, this is a bad idea.
17.
I do like that, though, these enemy spawns, because a lot of maps don't have that. Like reactive triggers when you do something. So it's nice to see more starting to pop up like that, because Drac did that as well in the last map I covered. Where you'd have to backtrack, but then when you backtrack, there's new spawns. Makes the levels feel fresh and not like you're just kind of killing them off as you go. I don't know why I just walked up to this with the keycard. Okay, so I think this is the puzzle people were talking about in the thread, in that we need to work with water physics. There's a floating can over there. Before we do that, let's go check out what's in this other room. But so far, I'll say that aside from using the vanilla textures that don't really work when they're stretched out this much, they just look like a big blocky mess, the rest of this is very cool, and very impressive from someone who's so new to the community. But I guess they did their homework first. So seeing them branch out and start using more custom textures, I definitely think they'll be capable of some impressive stuff. Especially since, as I mentioned before, their next map is trying to use the Emily, the ship, as a transport. And I think that's, kind of the trigger that will determine the next level is trying to get a ship that you can actually stand on while it moves without crushing you or dumping you off. So we pulled that switch. Is that... Okay, that filled it up with water. So water is something you really don't deal with a lot in Trespasser, because, again, you can't swim or anything, you just kind of float on top of it. And it can be a pain to get out of the water. In fact, I might be stuck. I gotta find, like, a little corner to wedge myself against. You pretty much need a ramp to get out of the water. since you are sort of a vehicle. Come on. I think this is it. Yep. We can ooze our way out. You can hear that T-Rex is still stomping around out there. So I think we need to hit that button over there, which means we just need to get across in such a way that we can get up there, because we can't jump that high out of the water, obviously. But if we do that, it should mostly work. Uh-oh, whoop, whoop. We nearly had a fatal intersection. Maybe pull this. This looks like I need to shove my hand in there. Oh, never mind. There's just a key card. I was thinking I had to, like, activate something here.
About 15.
Alright, well that was cool. Somehow the board has gotten stuck underwater. It's okay, it served its purpose. Actually, if I can jump on it, it'll be easier to get out of the water. And I'm going to quick save here because I just remembered that I haven't saved yet. And it would suck to have to do all that again, so... Newlev8. I've definitely lost big chunks of progress before in these videos because of either a crash or just a very unexpected death where I get clipped by some kind of physics object. I'm wondering where these stone blocks are from. I think these are from the beach. You know, those kind of under construction sections that were left lying around. Alright, now we phase through... Oh, the door actually opened from that side. Phase through there, and just head straight to that other gate. I don't think the T-Rex will bother us, but we can probably kill them in the remaining bullets we have. Then again, we probably want to save our bullets because we don't have another gun. And I'm sure there will be more raptors ahead. He's looking over here. He's thinking about it. So we still haven't seen a sign of the airstrip yet. But that might be the end of the level? That might be how we escape? I'm hearing raptors, but I thought they were, like, right over here. They must be up there. Okay, that looks all kinds of dangerous. Well, we could just walk along the side. I'm going to save because there might be an invisible wall here. Saying otherwise, I need to jump along those metal bars. Oop, oop, oop. Slipping. Oh, oh. Don't acknowledge the raptor clipping into the rock because it killed the frame rate. Bad physics intersections are happening and the engine does not like it. I'm getting 3 frames per second. But if we can get away from that raptor, we can probably stop lagging out. Welcome to my Trespasser PowerPoint. Nope, I think he might have broke it just by existing. let's load before that happened. Yeah, so he slid down here, he got stuck in the wall, and then the engine just exploded. I don't suppose I can get him come down here so that we can kill him before he does that? You need to be controlled. Just runs into a tree.
13.
Anyway, let's try this again. Hopefully there's not a second one. Let us leave this place as quickly as possible. These have very weird collision boxes, these rocks. I'm worried that I'm going to, like, slide backwards off of it when I try to jump forwards. Okay, there we go. See, that was a platforming section that wasn't painful. Oh, there's still another raptor back there. Let's get out of here before he falls in the pit. And I should probably save over that, just so we can avoid that issue. And again, that's not the map maker's fault that the engine explodes if physics sections happen that it can't fix. I wonder if we are actually down in that valley we were looking on from above. Because it looked like it kind of extended outward for a while.
About a dozen.
You really want to drop in here with me? You guys are just making a big mistake. Especially incompetent raptors. Just buried its head in the wall like a friggin' ostrich. Feels like the start of the second level of Trespasser, where you're going through a similar kind of valley. This tree is a little high. I think what makes it stand out too is that this foliage looks a lot better than the textures it's sticking out of. So it makes it even more of kind of a discrepancy. Okay, we got a whole complex here. There's a T-Rex around announcing itself. This is also entirely new. I've never seen this particular building, though it does appear to be made out of fences.
Looks like 12.
Maybe it was built that way to be a defensible position. Okay, so nothing tucked away there.
Eight left.
Morningstarring does seem to like warehouses, though, because remember the last level had 2 identical warehouses. So there's 2 T-Rexes out here. One of them is fighting raptors. And is like crouching down to get on their level. Another M16. I don't think that's enough firepower to kill a T-Rex.
10 shots. About 30 rounds.
Ooh, hello. That was a bad place to get caught up. There's another raptor inside the warehouse. How about you guys have a little fight? Take cover in here. Definitely do get a minor point against them for using those extremely loud roars that play at equal volume, no matter where you are.
About 20. 8 left.
Okay. Especially because even if we leave them behind, we're still going to hear them until we're completely out of range. I see the sea. Are we just going to escape via boat? Oh. There's the Emily right there. Wow, the ocean is, very fierce today. I wonder then if the next level is going to start on board the Emily and it's going to take you to another island. There might not be an end trigger for this? Or it'll just end. There's usually a big delay on that, even for, yeah, base Trespasser. You have to stand on the end of the game for, like, 20 seconds. Alright. So that was a pretty cool map. Again, a little crusty with the textures, but the actual gameplay was pretty good. Decent puzzles, good amount of combat, not too many guns, though there was that one point where I was juggling them, but after that, I think we had an appropriate amount. I think those raptors were actually just a little weak, because it only took a single bullet to the head to put them down. But yeah, I think that was a pretty good follow-up to Redwood Road, and I am very much looking forward to what they do with their third map. So, until next time, I've been Shadefire, this was another Trespasser Custom, and thank you for joining me for another dino-filled adventure. Till next time, take care, folks.